Before we give away these techniques, maybe I can start with a question.
Yeah, let's do that.
We had, so we can kind of get the ball rolling. So as we always say, if you like something, like it. If you love something, click love. Feel free to comment. Please comment your questions right there where it says write a comment. And Mark will do his best to answer your question. So we'll start with one that was emailed to us here. So it says, Mark, do you think stress affects our health? And can you share a little bit about the science behind your answer?
Okay, so stress absolutely affects health. And there are a lot of ways that stress manifests. And very broadly, if you want me to talk about the science, it's simple to understand. So everybody has an idea of what's going on in their life, and that idea ends up being their story. So the circumstances that we're involved with, we sort of have this ongoing dialogue about that, repetitious thoughts that go through our mind, and the thoughts correspond with certain themes. Like if we're feeling scared about something, like losing our job, and let's say layoffs are pending for a long time, and let's also say that we have a history in our family of origin where we had a father that was a little unstable, and so our fear circuitry is kind of sensitized. Here we are as an adult, this circumstance where possibly losing our job, you have kids to take care of. That narrative is going to be big in your head. And if you live with a narrative of threat, you're going to feel the emotion of fear. Now, if that becomes a chronic situation, what happens is feeling emotion produces changes in your biochemistry. So we get stress chemicals, cortisol, adrenaline, we get bradykinins, and all kinds of biochemical changes that then change how our brain is wired, further how do I want to say, activate the fear circuitry in your brain. And so it kind of forms a feedback loop that then changes the way your heart beats, maybe faster, blood pressure goes up. It can change the way you digest your food. You might develop irritable bowel syndrome. Living with chronic stress can change how your immune system functions, and you can eventually develop autoimmune issues. So most of the reason why a person goes to the doctor, more than you think, it's not genetic. Most of the reason comes from the contexts in which we live. So I hope that's an adequate answer how stress affects our health.
Definitely. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that. So maybe we should go ahead and get started with our one of 3 techniques for managing stress.
Okay, perfect. All right. So the first technique is a breathing technique. And this, how we breathe, can be both a conscious activity. You can sort of influence the way you breathe. And it's also an unconscious activity. And mostly your body just breathes itself, all by itself. But if you want to engage your mind-body network, you can engage it through conscious control of your breath. And so learning how to breathe super slowly and super deeply is a way to do that. It's a way to trick your system into feeling like things are great. In a long time in our past, growing up and trying to survive in a hostile world, when we breathed fast and because we were fleeing from a predator, or we breathed very shallowly because we were frozen and we didn't want to be seen those ways of breathing cause stress to go up. When we hold our breath, breathe shallowly, or just breathe very rapidly, that will amplify feelings of stress. On the other hand, when we're relaxing and we feel safe, our mind-body network naturally breathes more slowly. So if you're feeling stress, then consciously slow down your breath and make your breath very deep. The other thing, and I'll show you how to practice this, but the other thing to do is to breathe through your nose. When you're running from a tiger, you have to breathe through your mouth to get all the oxygen in, and that can also change your biochemistry. When you're relaxing, you breathe through your nose. So if you want to trick your body into feeling relaxed, breathe slowly and deeply through your nose. And when I'm gonna move the camera just so you can sort of see my belly a little bit. Let me show you how to do this relaxation breathing. I'm going to breathe out and blow all the air out of my body, and then I'll start the relaxation breathing process. So just watch me do this. So I can already feel my nervous system calm down. That's just 2 cycles of what I call relaxation breathing. So again, slowly and deeply. It's best to sit up straight so you can breathe all the way down into your belly. If don't breathe high in your chest. Let your belly expand, not your chest. You can even put your hand on your chest. When you breathe in, if your top hand starts to move, then start the out breath. But make sure that you emphasize the slow exhale, that slow exhale. Animals and humans that are relaxed exhale very, very slowly, and they do it through their nose. So the breath in and out of the nose. I know I pursed my lips and breathed out. I just wanted you to hear the breath coming out, but mostly you do the relaxation breathing through your nose. So that's one technique. It's a fantastic technique. I use this technique all the time when I'm sitting in front of the computer, and if I have deadlines, oftentimes I just push myself away from the computer and I do 5 minutes of relaxation breathing, and then like all of my biochemistry is regulated, and then I get back to work. So do it as much as you can. Before bed is a great time. Laying down, you can also do it laying down, where you put your hand on your belly and just belly breathe very, very slowly and deeply as you lie down. So that's the first technique, relaxation breathing.
So I have 2 questions. One, were you counting to 10 there? I
was just showing people that it was taking me a long time. What you want to do is you want to make sure you're breathing each cycle longer than 12 seconds. A 12-second in and out cycle means you're breathing 5 times per minute. You want to breathe 5 times or fewer, 5 or fewer times per minute. And so I just make sure, I don't really make sure that it's 6 on the in and 6 on the out. I just make sure that the whole breath cycle is longer than 12 seconds. And very often when I do relaxation breathing, I elongate the exhale so long that I'm only breathing 3 times a minute. And that really just feels good to me, just really slow and deep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. My other question, it was more of a comment. I thought you were going to ask us to breathe through our nose when we're getting chased by a tiger.
Yeah, no.
For a minute. So
yeah,
I was like, that sounds a little bit hard to do.
That's a little bit hard.
So I got what you were saying there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Welcome to everyone that's here. Thanks for joining. If you see something you like, you can click the like button. You can also share this on your timeline. So if you have friends you think would benefit, click the share. Hey, Angie. Hey, Melissa. Thank you for joining us. Tell your friends. And if you're watching this as it previously aired, you can you can still comment your questions and we will still respond. So a lot of people can't make it right away. So still add a comment. We'll respond if you have a question.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, are you talking about even tomorrow? Right?
Yeah, if you watch it tomorrow, sure.
Yeah, anytime you watch it, just make a comment, ask a question, and we'll get back with you.
Yeah, and of course, that goes for y'all watching live. So ask a question if you want to interrupt and say, what about this? Or how could that breathing work in this way?
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. And so with that, we can continue on with the second technique for stress management.
Okay, the second technique. What did I say I was going to do? Yeah, okay. I got a lot of techniques. Okay, so I was gonna talk about walking meditation because I don't think walking meditation gets enough airtime, and there are a lot of reasons to really like walking meditation. First of all, it gets you outside, and just moving your body, being upright, as opposed to just sitting while you meditate is sometimes that's just what you need. Sometimes you need a little space. And if you're feeling stressed and it's at work, if you're feeling stressed and it's at home, and you can carve out some time to just get outside and get some air, I highly recommend it. Now, when you walk, you want to do something very deliberate. Okay, and so imagine you're walking right now. I'm going to lead you on a little bit of a meditation right now. And what I want you to do is I want you to focus on the sight of me. Okay, and imagine that when you're walking, that you're focused on the sight of the ground or wherever you're looking, and the object that you're looking at is your meditation object. And so you're using your visual field to pinpoint an object to still your mind. Oftentimes when I do a walking meditation, I look down about 5 feet in front of me and I just see the pavement or the trail moving underneath. And what my vision does is it just skips along over the ground, but I hold my attention on the ground. So just look at me and hold your attention on me. And now at the very same time, what I want you to do is I want you to open up your whole visual field peripherally. So not just see me, see everything around you. Notice, but keep your eyes still. Notice right and left and up and down, even the space between your nose and the screen. So just see everything. Now do the same thing with your ears. Listen to the whole space that you're sitting in. I know you can hear my voice, but what else can you hear? Everything, all the ambient sounds in the room. Get a real sense of the space with your eyes and your ears. That's what I want you to do when you're walking. Open your awareness. So your attention is on a sight, on the ground, shifting in front of you, but your awareness is open to the whole visual field and the space of sounds. Now, at the same time that you're aware of the world, I want you to become aware of your body. I want you to just feel everything you can feel in your body right now. And that's what I want you to do when you're walking. Feel everything. Not only the physical sensations, the rhythm of the movement of the walking, the air temperature, the breeze, your breath going in and out. Feel everything like that. But I also want you to feel in your body emotional tone. The stress that you're feeling, open up to that rather than push it aside. let that energy of sensation run. Give it some space. Just feel it, acknowledge it, accept it, and let it be part of the experience. So now you're feeling your body right now. And the last thing I want you to do is I want you to go into your mind. So behind your eyes, there's awareness looking at me right now. But I want you to get behind your thoughts of me and what you're doing, all the way back where there's just awake awareness looking. Now, when you're doing a walking meditation, I want you to walk from there. I want you to be aware from the back, the furthest point back, where everything that's in front of it, the thoughts, the sensations, that's close in front, and the sights and the sounds, that's farther in front. But I want you to go all the way back into that silent space of your mind when you walk, and just let everything else run. The sights and the sounds, let them run. The sensations, let them run. The thoughts, the emotions, just let it run. And you just reside in that quiet space behind your eyes, way behind your eyes. That's what I want you to do when you do a walking meditation. Okay?
That's great. Anyone who joined in during that, I recommend watching this back and going back a few minutes so you can do the whole thing. I have a question about that. This is a question that comes up for me.
Yeah.
This may be like, I may be overthinking it. Do I count walking meditation as my daily meditation?
You can.
Okay.
You can count. So if you really want to start a meditation practice, formal meditation is going to be something that you have to make a habit of. Now, I have a sitting practice that I do every day. I miss very infrequently. In the past few years, I'll miss about 7 days in a year. So not much.
Yeah.
But walking is a big part of my meditation practice. And if I'm not doing a lot of sitting practice, let's say I'm traveling and I meditate on the plane, but it's not the same as meditating at home on my cushion in a silent space. And even though I get like a half an hour on the plane, I'll consciously do a walking meditation, or I'll meditate as I'm driving. You can do that too. So what meditation is all about is setting the intention to pay attention to something, whatever the object is. It can be breath, it can be the sight of something, it can be sounds, it can be thoughts in your mind, it can be sensations in your body. Whatever your meditation object is, place your attention on one thing that you choose, and then also stay aware of everything else. So you're balancing a local attention with a global awareness, and just maintain that for as long as you can maintain your focus. And that's the way to begin to bring meditation seamlessly into your life. And the benefit is that you'll rewire your nervous system to be more calm, more awake. You'll start functioning from that way back place behind your eyes. It's quiet and awake, and less able to get hooked by the random thoughts that go through your mind. Because instead of being the thinker and enmeshed with the thoughts, you'll be the awareness that sees the thought, but from the background. And so it just sort of comes and goes. And the same with the emotions that you feel in your body that could have swept you away before without you realizing it. Like it just captures all your attention and you're down the rabbit hole, total tunnel vision, and doing something, saying something that you regret later. When mindfulness is cultivated and becomes a trait in your life, you see the flicker of that mind moment and the wisp of that emotion as it runs through, but you see it from that background place of awareness, and so it doesn't hook you. You stay awake, and so you can be responsive and change instead of reactive and fall into that old pattern.
Great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome. So we went through relaxation breathing so far. We went through walking meditation. Any questions, please write them in the comments. I'll scroll, make sure we're not missing anything? We are. We have some comments. This is good.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, thank you, Angie. So Angie has a couple questions here. I like this. How much time, as far as like for a walking meditation, how long?
Yeah. Well, it's like anything. Taking medicine, I'll make the analogy with taking medicine. There's a dose response, right? Let's say I take blood pressure medicine and I need to take a certain amount and once a day, or it's not going to have any effect. If I cut the pill in eighths and I only take it every 2 weeks, then I'm not going to get any effect from that. So the same you can apply to your mindfulness and meditation practice. I'm going to relate this to walking meditation, but just meditation in general. There's a dose response, and it's right around 20 minutes of formal meditation a day before you actually start to see the benefits in your life. And so if you are going on a walking meditation, Angie, and you really do focus, like you keep your eyes on the ground, you stay aware, you're watching the skipping forward of your visual field as you walk, and that's what you're focused on, and you're staying aware of the totality of your experience from that backward place in your awareness, and you do that for 20 minutes. Good as what? Sitting on a cushion.
And Angie also asks, what kind of thoughts, when you say focus on the thought of your breath, etc., or where should your focus be? I guess, can you clarify that?
Yeah. Okay. So there are a lot of meditation objects. Breath is the classic object. And typically when people focus on the breath, they choose breath at the tip of the nose or breath in the belly. Those are the sort of the classic. And there isn't anything magic about the breath. It's just that it's constantly there. You can count on that object no matter where you are, and it's a place to begin to focus. But you can just as easily, if you close your eyes right now, everybody that's watching, just close your eyes right now and just notice that when you close your eyes, you still have a visual experience. You still see a black space of mind. It's this black open space, and it kind of, if you focus very gently on the backs of your closed eyelids, notice that you can see what looks like a little bit of a light show back there. That dark and or light screen, that light show that you see, that can also be a meditation object. Just watching that changing light show as you stay aware of this whole space of your mind, like what's happening in your mind. If a thought arises, you know a thought arises and you're back to watching the light show. You're aware of sounds as they pass, feelings, sensations like itches. You're aware of everything as you monitor the changing light show. That's another meditation object. But you can actually focus directly on thoughts. Many times if you're meditating and you're thinking way too much, don't try to fight thinking. Just allow the thought, but make it the object of your meditation. Not like I'm thinking, but like I'm aware of thoughts. And so that back place of awareness is focused on just the thoughts, and you're just, okay, thinking. So you're not in the tumbling rapids of the emotion of your thoughts. You're aware of just random thoughts coming and going. That's another meditation object. You can do that as you're walking as well. Just be aware of thinking as it passes through your mind.
Great. And thank you, Angie, for your questions. This is awesome. So she wanted to clarify one thing.
Sure.
Being new to meditation, I think the answer is both, but I'll let you answer. Should she start with the cushion? Should she start with walking?
Start with both. Yeah, I agree. So sit on a cushion, and if you connect with me, I can send you a PDF. That goes for anybody on this call. I'll send you a free PDF on how to start a meditation practice. I can even send you some free guided meditations that'll get you started, okay? So you have something to listen to. And then once you get the hang of, oh, I think I get what he's trying to get me to do, then stop listening and just do it on your own, okay? But do both. Bring as much mindfulness to your life as you can. Constantly reminding yourself to localize your attention. If you're with a person especially, get off the phone, give them the gift of your attention, and at the same time you do, open up your awareness. So you're aware of subtle cues. You're aware of your own feelings. You're aware of your own thoughts and judgments, and maybe you need to filter some things and not get caught up in what's bubbling up. Mindfulness helps you step back and open up and pause sometimes. And so bring that into your life. Bring the walking, driving, meditate while you're driving. I know that sounds dangerous, but just...
I was going to call you out on that.
No, it doesn't. It's not dangerous. Just localize your attention. I mean, when I drive very often, I hold my attention still, but my peripheral vision is totally open. I am monitoring the space, and I'm just holding a very stable attention on the road, and I can see everything. I can feel everything, and I'm more aware of driving than if I were thinking in my mind, because we've all done this. We've all been so preoccupied where we've driven somewhere and got there and we had no idea, like, how in the world did I get here? When you meditate, when you're driving, you're totally present moment to moment. So, I just invite anybody and everybody to be as mindful as possible, really attuned to the moment.
I actually read somewhere, I can't remember which book it was, they said, how attentive should you be during meditation? You should have the same level of awareness as if you're driving.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
a little parallel
it's not when you meditate, it's not about like getting all dull and relaxing. It is relaxing, and meditation can often reveal that your body is tired because things slow down and you can get sleepy, but that's not the purpose. The purpose of meditating is actually to wake yourself up and to see the subtle interaction of thoughts and sensations, just the pattern of you, how it arises and passes, and establish the habit of getting behind the habit of you. Habit of you is coming up, habit of you, thinking and sensations, reactivity, impulses, but awareness is behind all that. Do it right now again. Behind your eyes, where you think your brain is, behind your thoughts, there's just awake space looking. And so see me from there. That's the meditative stance I want you to take. Hold your attention on something stable, like breath. You can do it right now. And then stay aware of everything else, and especially your awareness. And that's it.
And you're meditating.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a love button. We got a love button. I love the love.
I think that was my friend Charles. Hey,
Thank
Charles.
you, Charles.
If that was you. I saw your picture really small. I was like, I think that was Charles. Thanks, everyone, for the questions and the responses. Yeah, if you want to like something, click like. You can share this with your friends now. You can share it afterwards. The Facebook Live stays on Facebook as a video. Please comment your questions. We have another question from Patrice. Patrice says, so your thoughts become the background? This is a question about when your thoughts are in meditation.
Yeah, well, your thoughts actually become the foreground. They're in the front of the mind, and the awareness is behind. The awareness is as far back as you can go. And the thoughts, oh, look at all that love and like. And so the thoughts become something you see in front of you. Just like you see me in front of you, go into your mind right now and think of the Eiffel Tower. Okay, think of the Eiffel Tower, but think of it from the back place, from awareness, behind your eyes. And notice it just feels like it's sort of in front. It's Think of pyramids of Egypt. Think of Golden Gate Bridge, Statue of Liberty. Yeah. So really think of your parents. Think of what's going on at work right now. Notice how thoughts occupy the front of your mind, and awareness is behind. Awareness is that space that encompasses everything. It's the background of everything. And when you get used to viewing the world from your awareness, stress comes down because you're not hooked by everything so easily.
Great. Okay, I hope that answers your question. If not, feel free to comment again or email us. Mark mentioned before, we can send you it's called Begin at the Beginning. It's basically a starter kit for meditation. Yeah. It's a nice PDF that can tell you how to get started, how to sit, all the kind of
answers a lot of questions on breathing and posture and all kinds of things. When should I do it?
What should my space look like?
Yeah. Right.
So you can grab that, just email info@skillfullyaware.com and say, I want the free meditation PDF, or send us a message on Facebook if it's easier, whatever's easier for you. Get in touch, say, I want that free PDF, and we'll send it your way. And again, any other questions? Looks like we have a few coming up. Charles says, classic mindlessness in action while driving, based on your comments about that.
Yeah.
What's up, Charles? That's my guy. He's out there in Boston working with Ellen Langer right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's great.
Yeah. So Claire wants a PDF. We got you, Claire. There's the email address. We have a lot of nice comments. Okay, so great. Thanks everybody. So
thank you so much.
We went through relaxation, breathing, walking, meditation. So the third technique for managing stress that Mark's going to talk about is kindness.
Yeah. So that's going to probably surprise some of you. But if you set a conscious intention to be kind in your life, kind to yourself, kind to others, drop the judgments, be kind when somebody else gets something that you might have wanted, wish them well, be kind in terms of the way you speak and the language that you use, the tone of voice. Be kind in relation to your food choices and in relation to other people's property. And you're going to find that your intentional kindness causes you to feel better first. And secondarily, all that kindness ripples out and affects every relationship around you. People are going to start treating you with more kindness, and it becomes a positive spiral, upward spiral. And it not only makes you feel better, just like stress can cause illness that we talked about at the beginning of this video, kindness changes your body chemistry as well, and can cause the beginning of your change process, your healing process, and you start to amplify beauty, truth, goodness in your life that brings you more wellness. So stress doesn't affect you as much because you're fortified with the medicine of kindness.
I love it.
Yeah, and we teach that in our class as well. If you want to learn how to amplify kindness in your life in a very systematic and progressive, thorough way, ask for the PDF on that, and I'm happy to share that with you as well.